You're in the middle of the storm, and everything around you is falling apart. The bills are piling up, relationships are crumbling, and your health is failing. You've been crying out to God, but all you hear is silence. You're wondering if He's even listening, if He even cares. But what if I told you that God speaks loudest in the darkest moments? What if the very season you think He's absent is actually when He's drawing closest to you? If you've been struggling to hear God's voice when life gets hard, this message is for you. Today, we're going to uncover 5 powerful ways God speaks during your most difficult seasons. And by the end, you'll never question His presence in your pain again. Think about Job. He lost everything: his wealth, his children, his health. His friends turned against him, and even his wife told him to curse God and die. But in the midst of his suffering, Job said something profound in Job 23:10. But He knows the way that I take. When He has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job understood that God was still speaking, still working, even in the fire. The truth is, God doesn't stop communicating when life gets hard. He actually speaks more clearly, but we have to learn His language during the storm. Here's how He speaks when everything seems impossible. First, God speaks through His Word with fresh revelation. When you're hurting, Scripture comes alive in ways you never experienced before. That verse you've read 100 times suddenly jumps off the page with exactly what you need to hear. Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." In darkness, His word becomes your guide. Don't just read it, devour it. Ask God to speak through every page, every verse, every promise. Second, God speaks through divine interruptions. Those unexpected phone calls, random encounters, or opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. When Elijah was running for his life, God didn't speak in the earthquake or the fire. He spoke in a gentle whisper. Sometimes God's voice comes through the most ordinary moments during extraordinary circumstances. That stranger who encourages you, that song on the radio, that job offer when you weren't even looking. Pay attention to the interruptions. Third, God speaks through closed doors. This one hurts, but it's true. When God shuts a door, He's protecting you from something or preparing you for something better. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that fell through. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him." Sometimes His no is the loudest word He speaks because it's redirecting your path toward His perfect will. Fourth, God speaks through peace in the chaos. When everything around you is shaking, but you have an unexplainable calm in your spirit, that's God speaking. Philippians 4:7 talks about the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It doesn't make sense to the natural mind, but your spirit knows. You can't explain it, but you can feel it. That peace is God's way of saying, "I'm here and I'm in control." Fifth, God speaks through your circumstances aligning with His promises. When you see His hand moving in ways that only He could orchestrate, that's His voice. Doors opening that you couldn't open, provision coming from unexpected sources, favor in impossible situations. Isaiah 55:11 says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Watch for His promises manifesting in your reality. Here's what you need to remember. God's voice isn't always audible, but it's always available. He speaks through His Word, through circumstances, through people, through that still small voice in your spirit. The key is learning to listen with your heart, not just your ears. If you're in a difficult season right now, don't give up. God hasn't forgotten you. He's speaking, He's moving, He's working everything together for your good. Sometimes His voice is a whisper, sometimes it's a shout, but it's always there. If this message encouraged you, drop a comment with the word listening so I know you received it. Share this with someone who needs to hear God's voice today. And subscribe to this channel for more biblical encouragement that will strengthen your faith. Remember, in your darkest hour, God's voice shines brightest.